Hello everyone, welcome back into another Warframe video. Today we'll have a look at the first weapon you get from the new vendor here in the Zariman. Well, it's not new anymore, but he is called Caballero. After you finish the quest, you'll be able to buy this weapon, which is the Laetum. This blueprint will cost you 3000 standing, that you will easily get the first day, and also to craft it you need Void Plume Pinions, which you get from the angels you will find in the missions around the new tileset, Void Plume Quills that you will acquire by defeating the angels in the Armageddon mode, or by searching for the Cephalon that's around the ship and giving her the key, the Acolyte. You also need 20 Void Orbs that are super easy to get. You'll get a lot of them just by exploring the map, 4000 Ferrite, which is a super common resource, and of course a bunch of credits. And whenever you build this weapon, you can then go into the Evolve Incarnon weapon. This will allow you to change the build on your Incarnon weapon. First of all, you have to unlock the Incarnon Form, which you'll do by killing 100 enemies with this weapon. Not gonna be hard at all, just going to any mission and kill 100 enemies. With those 100 kills out of the way, you are now able to use the Incarnon Form, and to activate it you have to charge it first. That requires you to hit headshots on enemies a bunch of times, and whenever the middle meter is full, you are able to use Alt Fire and transform this weapon into like a submachine gun that fires little explosive bullets. To unlock the second node, you have to kill 8 Aximus units by using the Alt Fire, so the Incarnon Form. To unlock the third one, you have to hit 8 headshots on Void Angels without reloading with the primary fire, so you cannot transform the weapon into Incarnon mode and go just crazy and hit headshots. That will not work. To unlock the fourth one, you have to close 12 Void Flood Fissures. And finally, for the last one, this is probably the most annoying one because it requires you to have all the Incarnon weapons and use all of them in a mission. And you also have to play solo, so that might be quite annoying. You'll have to reach at least rank 4 with the Syndicate, and then you'll be able to unlock this evolution number 5. Let's now talk about the buffs you get. Okay, first of all, the first node, it's only the Incarnon Form, so it won't give you anything else. From the second one onward, we'll have a choice between 3 options, and you can take the one you prefer. For me, it's gonna be less recoil, because I want this weapon to be literally a pinpoint accurate weapon. You can also go with more fire rate, you can even go with more movement speed while aiming, but it's probably very gimmicky. So for this evolution, I suggest you either take less recoil or more fire rate. On the third evolution, we have 3 choices again. And the first one is, on headshots we get 30% more reload for 12 seconds, that stacks up to 3 times. Whenever you get a new stack, the duration will be refreshed. The second buff gives you 30% magazine reloaded per second whenever the weapon is holstered, which is probably less useful, because if you're using this weapon you really want to use it, so you're not gonna holster it too many times. And finally we have 60% ammo efficiency while aim gliding or sliding. As for this one, I'm not super sure if it's supposed to work on the Alt Fire mode, so I suggest you be careful with this one, and that's why I'm using the one for reload, because it's actually very useful since the magazine it's only 12 and you'll be reloading a lot of times, and reload being at 1.5, it's quite long. Moving on to the fourth evolution, we have 50% more headshot damage, we have headshots build the meter faster, 50% faster, and finally we have plus status and less crit chance. For normal gameplay, more headshot damage will be better because you can kill more enemies just by using the primary fire, and you can destroy everything else with your secondary fire. You can even go with the Incarnon efficiency here to charge your meter even faster. So between these two, is up to you. I will probably skip this one unless you're going with Evolution 5. You're not using this one, you're using this one. With Devouring Attrition, you get a 50% chance to deal 2000% your damage on non-critical hits. So you're just gonna build your weapon for full status, and that's why having 10% less crit rate will actually help you. This is a flat 10% crit rate, so I'll go from 63% here to 53%. And this is modded crit rate and crit damage, by the way. And we have the second node, which is 40% ammo efficiency for 6 seconds on headshots. You can stack Reaper's Plenty with the third evolution, third node, Feather of Justice, and this will give you 100% ammo efficiency, so you can literally shoot forever. And finally, my favorite node, which is Overwhelming Attrition. This will activate whenever you deal a non-critical hit that doesn't apply status. It's not that easy to get, but since the weapon has a very high fire rate on the secondary mode, you'll probably get this one more than enough. The duration is 20 seconds and you get 1200% more damage, so it's quite worth having it. Even 2 stacks, even 1 stack, it's just so much more damage. And that is basically how the weapons work. You just get the buffs you want and you build the weapon that you like. Now let's see how you should mod the weapon. And what you want to equip is something like this, where you basically want, of course, well, a multi-shot mod, yes, having Galvanized Diffusion is better than normal Barrel Diffusion, but if you do not own Galvanized, just go for the normal one. Use Little Torrent for the fire rate and also multi-shot. It's mostly because I like the fire rate that I'm using this mod, and that 60% multi-shot, it's not a big of a deal. Then I'm using both the crit mods for crit chance and crit damage. If you want, you can replace Prime Pistol Gambit for a better mode, which would be Creeping Bullseye. It will give you even more crit chance, removes a little bit of fire rate, but since you already have this fire rate boost from Little Torrent, it's not gonna be a big deal at all. And if you have the node that gives you 20% more fire rate on the second evolution, you are basically just not gonna even notice that. Then I'm using Hornet Strike for damage, but what's gonna be better for this slot is actually one of the faction mods. That means using the expel modes, especially the prime ones are like the best thing you can put in this slot. Then I'm using Pathogen Rounds and Frostbite to get viral and just a little bit of status chance, and I'm using Prime Hit Charge for more hit damage. You can of course just remove this one for the normal hit charge, and instead of Frostbite you can put Deep Freeze if you have the space for that. That way you can have less status chance and basically proc the 400% more damage from your 5th evolution a lot more times. For your Axial slots, I have 2 recommendations. You can either go with Steady Hands, that way your weapon will have less recoil and will not sway all the way around the screen, making it a little bit harder to aim for the head. Or you can go with Little Momentum, that way your primary and secondary fire will feel a lot better since the bullets have a little bit of travel time and it's quite hard to hit headshots if the enemies are too far away. As for the Arcane slots, you can either go with Merciless, like I am doing right here, because it's easier to maintain these buffs active, or you can go for Secondary Deadhead. That way you have more headshot multiplier and even less recoil. That way you can either drop Steady Hands or even Marksman Hand. As for the new arcanes, they give us basically the stats that we don't want, because Overcharge and Accuracy give us crit chance, while Empowered works on status effects and we literally don't want either of those. So this is gonna be my build and what I'm going to showcase. So let's head to a Stealth Path mission. Alright, here we are in a Stealth Path mission, level 130-ish. So let's go find some enemies. This is the weapon without any buffs for now, like literally no buffs. Now let's try again with some of the buffs active. And yeah, the damage is definitely a lot higher. It's quite easy to aim for headshots whenever you don't have any kind of, well, any kind of recoil. And now let's swap to the Incarnon mode, and this is when things just basically end in tragedy for the enemies. You can literally just walk through a mission and kill basically everything. Like that guy was hiding behind that turret. I don't care. This guy is shooting from the other side. Well, I don't care. The bullets have quite a long travel time, so that's why I feel like modding for little momentum and giving you that projectile speed is actually quite useful. And when the meter goes to 0, just charge it again, go for some headshots. Now that the weapon has some buffs, we have even more damage. We can literally one-shot this normal enemies, and heavy armor ones, like this shield lancer over here, also die in one shot. Like, there's literally few things that can survive this weapon. Yeah, this weapon deals a massive amount of damage. Even on non-headshots, like, it's still capable of killing everything. And yeah, I feel like this is just one of the best endgame weapons. It definitely requires a lot of investment, because you have to put at least 6 formas in, and do the challenges, and well, it requires a bit of time. But it is definitely worth it whenever you can literally kill enemies in one shots, even in stealth path. That's a bombard. That literally took me, well, 2 shots. I just had to do. I just wanted to give him the 3rd shot, but it wasn't really needed. Oh, there's an Eximus unit. We can test against an Eximus unit. Well, that is an Eximus unit. Was an Eximus unit, I should probably say. Up to secondary fire again. Nothing can stand it. I'm waiting for the Acolyte to spawn as well, so I can shoot that. I made a short about this weapon, killing an Acolyte in like a few seconds, because it is just amazing. Yeah, I don't have even a full meter, but that's an Acolyte. That's a high-level Acolyte. That was a heavy gunner. And yeah, that's an energy leech. I'll also go into a Zariman mission in a little bit and show you how this weapon deals against an angel in the stealth path. So
Give me 1 second.
alright, here we are in well, stealth path mission with some purpose enemies now. Feels like it's kind of the same to me. I don't think I am, well, having any big troubles. And with the use of some buffs, well, things go a little bit on the broken side. Like, that fire rate is quite fun to play with. And here we have a Trax Eximus unit, so let's just delete that. I just want to remind you that this is supposed to be stealth path, and stealth path is the hardest thing we have. I even tried against like level 400 and something, because I did a cascade mission, and that basically went into like the 50 waves and stuff, and I was still killing enemies super quickly. Here we have a Void Angel. Let's go with normal fire. This is the damage I'm currently doing. Well, if it's not charging the orb, that is how much damage you are now looking at. That is, doesn't look that impressive, but now it's impressive. It is quite impressive, actually. It's actually insane. And back to the angel. Again, that's not gonna take a lot at all. Super easy to go to that. And finally, there goes the angel. Super easy. Stealth path angel. That's how you do it. Well guys, that was Laetum, and yeah, it's literally the best pistol in the game. I'm having so much fun playing with it and experimenting some builds and stuff. I've tested against Eidolons, and it's also kind of strong killing Eidolons. So yeah, pretty cool weapon, very strong. I'll show you guys the other 2 weapons in the next videos I'm planning on releasing. And until then, I will see you next time. Bye bye.